The Interaction Management Monitor IMM increases the interaction of your company, increases your business. Watch the presentation and demo. What is IMM? IMM is a tool to manage the interaction between your managers and your customers and prospects, new and existing clients. IMM also helps you to manage the interaction between your managers and employees. These are the managers IMM thinks of, but these also could be other disciplines. We'll ask them to categorize their Outlook calendar items, their visits, their absence, and optional, their results, the demands or RFPs. You bought and installed an expensive CRM. The big question is your CRM always up to date? We doubt it. What we know is that generally your managers keep their Outlook much better up to date. IMM consists of 5 software components: an Excel database, an IMM Edit module, an IMM Run module, an IMM Play module, and last but not least, an IMM Outlook. All developed in Excel and Visual Basics for applications. How does it work? We have an IMM database. IMM needs the module to mutate the database and to maintain the basic data. Next, there is an IMM Run, the export function, to generate a commando file for Outlook, called MTab. With MTab, Outlook knows what data has to be read from the Exchange database and what has to be exported. Next, IMM Run, the import function, updates the IMM database, after which IMM Play is able to produce actual reports. It is possible to schedule the IMM modules and to let the modules activate each other in order to run IMM Weekly totally unattended. Okay, what's in the database? Well, company data, the division or units or your internal naming conventions, the teams, and of course, last but not least, the managers. And notice what is registered. As you can see, also availability is registered. And of course, the basic parameters are categories, public holidays, and IMM targets. But most important, the counts of the categorized calendar items. Here you see the Outlook function to create a new calendar item. It's the Dutch version, but we trust on it that you recognize something familiar. It is important that the managers categorize their appointments with the available categories. Why should they categorize? For decision making about marketing campaigns and for compiling fields of place for support. Managing interaction is in the interest of everybody. Every Outlook user and every manager should know that IMM respects the international data privacy law. Only categorized calendar items are counted. Content of subjects or bodies are disregarded, even of the categorized calendar items. MS Outlook doesn't show calendar items that are marked private, so the example shown here is not a private calendar item. Important to know, does IMM log uncategorized items? No, absolutely not. Okay, let's mention some important features of IMM. IMM shows results, figures and graphs of the company and trends, of the divisions and or units, of the teams, and of the individual managers. IMM calculates with the absolute figures of visits and or demands, the real numbers, or corrected figures, taking in account the availability. IMM ranks, if you tick ranking on in the basic settings, based on assigned weight to visits and or demands. IMM sorts the information in the way you want, by name, by ranking, or any other sort option. IMM lets you choose your reports. IMM is able to run weekly unattended, generating the company's default reports, that is recommended. You can customize IMM, Excel VBA yourself because you can obtain the source if you like. The price. Well, IMM is sold as is. You'll get access to the VBA source after a trial and acceptance period of 3 months and will help you to get started. After that period, you can customize IMM yourself or ask us to do it. Read this. No further comment. Okay, let's first take a look at the Edit module of IMM, IMM Edit. Here is the main menu. In every model, you will notice at the left a blue menu bar. Clicking on it always brings you back to the relevant main module. Let's select Edit and Show Basic Settings, a screen you won't visit very often because the basic settings hardly change during a run year. What you see is a large number of gray fields. You cannot change a gray field because gray fields contain information about the module, the relevant run year and run week. At the top, you can fill in the company name. At the bottom, you can set the company norms in respect to the number of visits per week to customers and employees, of sales, people and delivery management. On this level, you will also determine whether or not you want to show the ranking of the managers and whether or not demands will be shown in the reports. Below, you will find the buttons for other basic functions. IMM needs to know what categories needs to be processed in MS Outlook. Here they are. You see the IMM categories in English and how they are called in the native language. In this example, the native language is also in English. It is easy to change the categories. Just select the desired category, click Select Close, and the edit screen is shown. Let's go back to the basic settings. You can edit the public holidays the same way. Back to the main menu and select List Divisions and Units. Let's select Finance, and on this screen you can mutate the finance or other divisions. Okay, back. You will understand that editing teams goes the same way as editing divisions. Let's select List Managers. In this example, the people managers, HRM, are shown. By clicking the IMM icon, you can choose the managers with another role. Let's choose Sales and look at Joe Bestseller and select this guy. Well, look at the gray fields. In the actual week 10, he's part of the team OVHT1, is sales and has to work 40 hours per week. By clicking on the Show button at the bottom, you will see the history of Joe this year. The whole year he was a sales in OVHT1, but from week 27, let's select, he will leave the company. Press Exit and Change, and Show again and see. Joe will not be one of us as of week 27. It is possible that a manager had more than one role, was part of more than one team and division, and was temporarily less available during a year. All of this you can manage within IMM Edit. Okay, back to the main menu and once more to the basic setting. After the final run of every year, IMM needs to start up a new run year. The relevant information of this year is saved to the next year and the database is cleaned up. Okay. You saw a little about IMM Edit. Let's start up and demonstrate IMM Run. It is possible to check the basic settings here also. Well, that's not spectacular, so let's go back to the main menu. There's not so much to show of IMM Run, but believe us, there's a lot of coding behind these buttons. The Generate EDP Import button generates the control data for MMM Outlook. Whose calendars have to be read in Outlook? What has to be counted? Next, the export of Outlook is imported and processed in IMM Run and saved in the database. It is possible to run IMM Run unattended using the Microsoft Task Scheduler and an IMM trick. Okay, that was all about IMM Run. Let's start up and demonstrate the management module, IMM Play. Let's look at the manager performance first. This list gives you the figures of the actual run week, the next 6 weeks, the 4 weeks before the actual run week, and the year-to-date results. Clicking the IMM logo gives you the opportunity to select another role than sales and another category. The headers of almost every list contain sort commandos. You can sort the manager by ranking or sort the list by another ranking. IMM shows figures or graphs, but if the list contains more than 25 managers, the graph becomes less readable. IMM forces you in that case to select a division or team. Let's choose the division Finance. Okay, just Finance is shown. Let's try graphs again. Graphs of all client visits of the sales within the division Finance are now shown. See the legend. Well, these results could be better, don't you think so? All periods are shown. Let's go back to the main menu and take a look at some important basic settings. At the bottom of this screen, you can set ranking settings. If you think demands are more important than visits, rank demands higher. If you find it more important to rank the future, rank next 6 weeks higher. Within this ranking mechanism, you can play with the manager's performance, the team performance, the division unit performance, and the company performance. A special report is the manager performance versus norm report. Here it is. Pause the video for a moment if you want to study this report. You can print every shown report individually by pressing the print button. Back to the main menu and go to the reports function. A section report page is shown. IMM produces more than 100 reports. Let's enlarge the screen. By pressing select all available reports will be selected, a function commonly only used by the company user to produce all reports. Okay, deselect. And let's make your own selection. Maybe you're only interested in the figures and graphs of your own division. Let's choose Finance. At the bottom, let's enlarge again. You can choose the output destination, PDF or printer, black or white, and the way you prefer to sort order. Press Generate Reports to produce the desired reports. In the folder IMM Players, you will find all IMM users. The folder IMM Company User, or the name your company user is, contains weekly all the reports available. Produced weekly unattended by a task scheduler. If you have the access rights, you can find all the reports there. What's in your folder? Suppose you are user 2. Well, the reports you selected. Back to the main menu and select About IMM. Here you will find the information to contact us. After our thanks for watching this video. It is very easy to demonstrate IMM live by a conference call. Just contact us.